Greetings, fellow humans. I'm MartianBuu, and today we're going to be reviewing the super exciting Across the Timeways set with the context of Wild in mind. I'm going to go with a 4-star system this time. 1 is going to be garbage. This has no use in Wild. 2 will be either niche play, or it's the type of card that I could make a deck for a video. That's all right. 3 will be meta relevant, and 4 will be meta defining. So the difference would be like, you know, this is going to be a solid card for some decks, is meta relevant, and this is going to make a deck so powerful that other decks will have to change how they behave to warrant, like, to keep it in mind. So that's the difference between meta relevant and meta defining. All right. So Talanji of the Graves, first up for Death Knight. Fabled. So what Fabled is when you add the card to your deck, it has a bunch of other uncollectible cards that add themselves to your deck too. So it's kind of like Mecha'thun the Shattered, except Mecha'thun the Shattered adds cards to your deck total, whereas Fabled is part of your deck total. So like this has 2 Fabled cards in it. It's got Bwamsamdi, and it's got What Befell Zandalar. So these 2 cards are going to be part of your 30 card total. So once you add Talanji, you will need to come up with 27 more cards instead of 29. That's how Fabled works. But anyways, so she's a 4 mana, 4/5 undead. This is like, some of these cards are from the past or from the future, and some of them are from alternate timelines. So this is an alternate timeline where Talanji is like a Death Knight or something. I don't know the full backstory on these, but you can kind of get a sense of it. Normally she's a priest, and her Loa is normally the T-Rex Loa. But okay, so 4 mana, 4/5 undead. Battlecry, draw Bwamsamdi or resurrect him if he's died, and choose a boon to give to him. So 4 mana, 4/5, draw a specific card. I think whether this is good or bad is dependent on how good that specific card is. So you draw Bwamsamdi or resurrect him if he's died. So he's a 6 mana, 6/6 undead. His death rattle is summon a random 4-cost minion, and any boons Bwamsamdi is given carry over. Also, yes, when you draw Bwamsamdi, you choose a boon to give to him. So the boons are give Bwamsamdi lifesteal permanently. Minions summoned by him cost 2 more. So once you do this, he will have lifesteal, and he will summon a 6-cost minion instead of a 4-cost. Then Boon of Power, give Bwamsamdi taunt permanently, and the minion summoned cost 2 more. Or give him rush permanently, and minions summoned by him cost 2 more. So there is one more boon giving card, What Befell Zandalar. So 3 mana, deal 2 to all enemies. It's just Consecration, and you choose a boon to give to Bwamsamdi. So if you play this before you either play or resurrect Bwamsamdi, you can get an additional boon. So you can like have him summon 8-cost minions. How good is this? I think it's solid, maybe. So I think if you draw him before Talanji, it's less good, right? Because then he doesn't have a keyword. Then he's just 6 mana, 6/6, summon a 4-cost minion. And like, that's terrible. You want the minion to have lifesteal, taunt, or rush. And you want him to have that. So actually talking it through, I think it's awkward. I was thinking this would be a decent like Reno Death Knight option, because it's just solid, but is it? 3 for deal 2 damage to all enemies is okay, but like Paladin doesn't run Consecration, right? Why are we running Consecration? So it's a little sad that this isn't slightly more efficient or something. What I am looking forward to doing with this is running it in even Death Knight, because, you know, Talanji's even, but she'll add an odd card. Wait, it won't work that way. That's how it works with Mecha'thun. Like, you can put him in even and it'll still trigger because he adds. But no, this just is in the list. You can't cheat it in there with even. So never mind. That's less exciting. I don't know. I'll give it a 2. I don't think it's going to be meta relevant. I do think that it's going to be something that is a fine option in the Reno Death Knight lists, but it's not like mandatory and probably not optimal. So definitely a 2. It's not but though either. It's fine. You caught a MartianBuu stream finally. Hi Wanderer. Hi Uriel. I think fabled is one of my favorite keywords in recent history. It's pretty cool. All right, then we have Husk, Eternal Reaper. It's a 4 for 5/3 undead. Battle cry, give your hero death rattle, spend up to 20 corpses to resurrect with that much health. So this is giving your hero a death rattle, first time that's ever happened. And what's funny about this is it's an ice block that ice block gets around Holy Wrath. It's just a way for Death Knight to get around Holy Wrath. Yeah. So your opponent Holy Wraths you. You have 10 corpses left. You'll have 10 health afterwards. So that's pretty cool. Is this good? I think it's probably a 3. Yeah, it's probably a 3 because it gives Reno Death Knight ability to interact with things like Holy Wrath. It's not so good. It's like worse than Ice Block. It's better than Ice Block in that they can't just Zephrys for Flare and get rid of it, but it's worse than Ice Block because your opponent can then just kill you, right? Like if they have 10 more damage after they kill you, they can still kill you. So yeah, but I think you would put it in a Reno Death Knight deck, so I'll give it a 3. I think it's a relevant card. Oh, that's what it gets around. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking like, doesn't it get around something that other things don't? It's the first one. It's the first ice block that gets around destroy the enemy hero. So if your opponent destroys the enemy hero with something like Uther or Mecha'thun or the Horseman or the Rafam in the new set, it will come back because it was destroyed, and then it comes back with the 10 health. So cool. Loses to Death Warden, unlucky. If you Reno after, would the death rattle go away since it's a new hero? I assume it's not. Like, this would be kind of busted if you could generate more corpses and get more lives for the rest of it, right? I assume this is a one and done, but I can't say for sure. It'd be even better if that's, you can play it multiple times. Like if you get this back, well, I assume so. Yeah. If you play it again, I assume you get the death rattle back. But if it's like, if it's like every time you would die, you come back with corpses for the rest of the game, that's even better than I thought it was. That would actually be disgusting. Oh, you mean if you play Reno Hero after this card was played, does the death rattle go away? That is an excellent question. I have no idea. I've seen enough. It's time to nerf Ice Block and give this to Mage as compensation. Uh-oh. And before nerfed once per game, true. All right, so I'll give that a 3 because I think it is just going to go into Reno Death Knight. All right, Forgotten Millennium. So this is an 8-cost spell. Fill your hand with random undead. They cost health instead of mana this turn. I guess I give it a 2. Like, I could see myself doing something with this. But, like, it's a low, too. I think this is almost a 1, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's a lot of stats for 8, but, like, you have to kill yourself to do it. Isn't this kind of butt? This is almost a 1, actually. I'm gonna give this a 1. I don't have much faith in it. I'm not even excited to do this. As far as, like, making a video with it. But I think I could. Like, I don't know. It's either a high 1 or a low 2. It's pretty bad. Why print this if you print a Scourge? That's a really good point. Like, why would I play this over Scourge? It costs 1 less, sure, but like, yeah. All right, then we have Chrono Chiller. It's a 4 mana 8/7. You no longer draw a card at the start of your turn. How good is a 4 mana 8/7? Even Decay? Maybe. But like Frost Unholy Even Decay? I don't know. I feel like even DK wants to go wide rather than tall. I'm trying to imagine this in standard. Is this even good for standard? You just don't get to draw anymore when you have this up. It's only a 4 mana 8/7. It's not even a 4 mana 8/8. And like when we play, like Mountain Giant doesn't really get played anymore, right? And that could be a 4 mana 8/8. I don't know. I think this is a 1, frankly. I'm gonna give it a 1. I have no faith in it. Shadows of Yesterday, 6 mana shadow spell. It has rewind. Rewind is the other new keyword this set, which means after the result of the spell, like after the spell concludes, it gives you the option to try again. So instead of, if you don't like the result of the randomness, you can roll again one time. So 6 mana shadow spell, rewind, summon 4 3/2 shades. They each gain 2 random bonus effects. They each gain 2 random bonus effects? That's not bad, actually. I think, you know, if this card existed when even DK first existed, I think this would be a really solid card for it, because it lets you go wide, and it's gonna give you like 4 pretty solid minions, and you get a chance to reroll them. It seems not bad for that time period, but not for this time period. I don't think it really does anything. I'm gonna give it a 1. I would probably include it in an even DK video if I was trying to do that for content, but Highlander DK has been so good that I don't really feel like I need to force even DK so much. So I don't know. I'll probably give it a 1. 6 mana, lose your board and the game. I don't know about that. You silly goose. How far into the set review are you? I'm on Death Knight. 4 mana, Memoriam Manifest. 4 mana shadow spell. Summon the highest cost friendly undead that died this game. So this can get you back Reska. Oh, we were talking about this. It just like, what else? What are the other good options for this? Like, other than Reska, I think for this to be good, you'd have to have a few hits. Oh, Bwamsamdi. So I guess if you're running Bwamsamdi, that's the idea, right? You're supposed to run this and get Bwamsamdi back. I see. I mean, like that doesn't feel like our wild combo, frankly. Like, is Bwamsamdi even gonna be good in standard? The 8/9 reborn in standard? What's the 8/9 reborn in standard? Like, I don't know that it's for that. I think it's for Bwamsamdi. I don't know what that is, though. Oh, it like summons an undead from your deck. Is that the one you're talking about? Is that still in standard? I don't know. Anyways, in wild, I don't really see it, right? Like, I heard Syndragosa suggested while we were talking about this right after it got revealed. And like, if you're suggesting Syndragosa to make this worthwhile, it's like not enough. I feel like it needs a couple other Reska level hits to be good, and like Reska comes down pretty late. So yeah. Galactic Lobster, thank you so much for the 18 months, my friend. How are you? How are you doing? All hands to the Martian crew. Word. All right, Life Render, 3 mana. Okay, so this, I guess I'll give it a 2. I could see myself doing something funny with it. 3 mana, 3/4 undead. If your hero's health changed this turn, deal 6 damage to an enemy minion. Why does Death Knight have a holy card in it? Like, isn't this giving you... She's taking the life, right? She's rending it. It looks like she's doing holy stuff. I don't understand the art. Hey, Lamp. If you hear his health change this turn, deal 6 damage to an enemy minion. So the reason that this card effect is so decent in Warlock and Priest is their hero power can change their health. So like you don't need a second card to activate those things. Like you prefer a second card to activate those things. But WoW has Holy Forsaken now. What is a Holy Forsaken? Interesting. But like this is a Death Knight. It's not about being an undead. It's about being specifically a Death Knight. I'm not buying it. I don't understand it. So anyways, isn't the Forged 3-drop better than this? Doesn't the Forged deal half the damage and it has a mana based extra effects? But anyways, so Warlock and Priest do not need anything else to activate cards like this because their hero powers do it. They prefer other cards, but like the card is always going to be activatable because they always have access to their hero power. That's why the effect is so good in those classes. The hero power in Death Knight does not do that. So like, yes, it has weapons. So like if you have good weapons in your deck, that's decent, but I don't know. I think 3 mana 3/4 deal 6 to a minion is good enough for a Highlander pile. I just don't know that we're running enough stuff that changes your own health for this to be reliable, because you don't want a second Renathal in your deck. Remember the DK 3 mana 3/4 that was free if your health changed? I think this is a better effect than that. And Vamp Blood and Airlock Breach. That's why it's worded this way, so you can activate it with those cards. But like, I'm not gonna. Airlock Breach is not like, why do we even talk about that? Because that's a 9 mana combo. You want to spend 9 mana to destroy a minion that has 6 or less health. You want to think about what you can do for 0 to 3 mana, I think. I don't know. I think this is a 1, but it might be a 3, I guess. It's so I'd have to play with it. I'm gonna guess it's a 1. So then we have Blood Draw. So 3 for discover a spell that costs health instead of mana. Discover a spell. This costs health instead of mana. So this is your wombo combo. You play this to discover a spell for free. Deal 3 damage to yourself. And then you can deal 6 damage. And summon a 3/4 taunt. Like 39th card in Highlander DK? I don't think so, is my point. I don't think that you can reliably activate this often enough. I don't know. It's free. It costs nothing. Discover a spell for nothing. Not bad, frankly. I don't know. It might be that you have to value the health change to play this. I'm gonna give it a 2. I think it's interesting, but it's just a good standalone card. Is it? Deal 3 damage to yourself to discover a spell? I don't know that it is. It might be, but that's why I'm giving it a 2. I think it has some interesting potential, but it might be that you have to value damaging yourself for it to be good. I just don't know. All right, so then we have Time Stop. 2 mana, deal 3 damage, freeze 2 random enemy minions. So 2 mana, deal 3 damage, frost spell, freeze 2 random enemy minions is freaking solid. That's a really good card. So I would give this a 3, but like, what's gonna run 2 frost runes? What can you do with it? You can run Unholy, and then you get Reska. From Blood, you get Quartzite Crusher, Patchwork. It just feels like you're... Yeah, I don't know that this is a Highlander card. I feel like Double Frost is like one of the weaker rune combinations for Highlander Death Knight. So I think you'd be running even Frost if you were going to play this, which honestly, like, I got to give this at least a 2, because I feel like I've been waiting to build another Frost deck forever. You can probably generate these a lot. Maybe, yeah. Triple Frost probably? Not really, right? There's no real reason to go Triple Frost. What do you get for triple frost anymore? I guess you get the 7 cost card. Is that good? I don't know that it is. I think I want to go lower to the ground than that. Yeah, I don't think triple anything, by the way, is worth it. The possible exception is triple unholy, because you still get what's the 4 cost bloodlust? Whatever it's called, gives 3 damage, 3 attack to all of your minions. I think that's the last like triple card, like triple of the same rune combination card. That's a grave strength. Thank you. Yes, that is actually worth building around. There isn't enough now that they've like lowered a lot of the good stuff to 2 runes and haven't been printing triple runes since then. So I don't think it's ever triple frost. But yeah, I don't know. It's worth it. I'm gonna give it a 2, just because like the card is good. The card is really good, I think. It just needs a deck, and we're probably not there right now, but definitely good enough for Marshy content. All right, then we have Cryo Frozen Champion, 1 mana, 2/1, Death Rattle. Get a random legendary minion, reduce its cost by 1. And this fine. This seems really good. It seems like, you know, just solid standard 1-drop that you run in a deck that whose 1-drop isn't important, right? Like, is this good enough for a Highlander deck? I don't know. I don't really think so. The fact that it reduces the cost by 1 is pretty decent. Yeah, so probably give it a light 2. Cracked standard card, probably. I don't know about cracked, but at least really solid, right? Like, just seems like a really good standard card. But I don't really see a spot for it in Wild, so I'll give it a light 2. All right, so that was Death Knight. Nothing too exciting. I think like the Husk obviously is the big relevant card, and then Talanji is cool, but probably not very good. This is another one to keep an eye on, Blood Draw, just because it's free. This one doesn't, its rune combination I don't think quite works, but anyways. Not Death Knight's worst Wild set, by the way. Like Wild had like a whole year where it didn't get literally anything, but year plus, I don't know, it was a long time. But yeah, so it's interesting. On to Demon Hunter, we have another Fabled card. So this one fables a bunch of stuff. So it's a start of game effect, and Broxigar vanishes from your deck. So all right, you've got a 39-29 card deck, and hopefully that's before you draw it. It'd be funny if it disappeared out of your hand. But you kill all 4 demons from Argus to reappear. So these are the fabled things. It's fabled 5? Yeah, okay. No, it's fabled 2. So like you put in that you get the axe and you get the first portal. The first portal shuffles the next portal, right? So this is his Axe of Scenario. So Broxigar is like from the past in our own timeline. I read the book. It's like a trilogy. Broxigar got like, so Khadgar, is his name Craxus? Chorusdra? What was his name? This stupid red dragon consort of Alexstrasza. Yeah, I know Ronan. The other one, the dragon. What was the dragon's name? Anyways, Ronan and Coriolis or something, whatever it was. They went to the past to do something, or so, oh gosh, it's probably been 20 years since I read that book. And Broxigar was like in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he got sucked back with them. So he went he went in the fast and fought the Burning Legion during the first invasion, and Cenarius made him this axe out of wood because he needed an axe. Crassus, thank you. It's the dragon's like human form name was Crassus, and he was friends with Ronan. And like these books are awful. Ronan is a complete Mary Sue. Like I cannot tell you how bad these books are. Not Crassus? What do you mean, not Crassus? Hold on. Coriolstraws, yeah. It's totally Crassus. What do you mean not Crassus? Right. Crassus was his human name. Coriolstraws was his dragon name. What do you mean not Crassus? Anyways. So Crassus and Ronan are like characters that the author uses in a lot of his books, and they're all terrible. They're all awful. Ronan is a total Mary Sue. It's just like it's it's the worst. But I don't know, they were still WoW books, and I was pretty obsessed back then. I've talked way too long about the backstory. Anyways, he goes in like wrong place at the wrong time, gets stuck, and goes back with them. He needs an axe to fight the Burning Legion. Cenarius makes him this one. It's out of wood that he blesses with druid juice, and that's what this is. You'll notice it from Rockbiter Weapon. So you get this. It's a 3-for-3 2 weapon, which is whatever. It does have lifesteal, actually. I didn't notice that. But after your hero attacks and kills a minion, devastating. Whenever they do attacks and kills a minion, they always change it to just attacks later. But anyways, when he attacks and kills a minion, you draw a portal. So you get this first portal to Argus. It summons a 1/1 demon, which is right here. And then when it dies, you draw a card and shuffle the next portal into your deck. So it's like you have to kill all of these demons in succession. And once you've done them all, then you get your Broxigar back. And Broxigar is a 2-for-12/12. And he has charge. So that's your big payoff for doing all that. Honestly, I was excited about this card until I realized that it was attacks and kills a minion. It's probably like a 2. It's like a Marshy content card, I think. Hey, Wagner. All right, then we have the Eternal Hold. So get a demon that costs 5 or more. If your deck has no minions, your next one costs 0. I think that's a 2. I would play that in Scythe. Demon Hunter. Portals are fell spells. What a Jace payoff. Are they? That's cute. Let's go. Wait, that's actually kind of cool, not gonna lie, because you can like the Jace ends up having so much AoE damage in it by the time you actually play it. So you could like get more Broxigars. I don't know. It's kind of cool. That's a more solid 2 now that you've said that. But yeah, this is a 2 also. It's like you put it in Scythe Demon Hunter if you're trying to make content, but otherwise, I don't know. Then we have Doomsday Prepper, Dr. Pepper. It's a 5-mana 5/4. Outcast, your hero is immune until your next turn. I would think this card was decent, but I have no idea what type of deck would want to play it. You know, like what you want is like, remember when Secret Mage used to run Ice Block so that it, for like twofold reasons. One was that you always had a secret up for your Cloud Princes late game, and 2, that way you could be fully aggressive and burn your opponent down late game without having to worry about your own life total. They confirmed you can't duplicate Broxigar? Fine, that's a week 2 again. Oh, that's so sad. Why? Bummer. So this would need something like that. This would need to be in some kind of like hyper aggro deck that has this as its most top end card, just so that you can like play it and keep going face for a couple turns. I don't because this is Outcast and not because this is Outcast and not Battle Cry. I think it has very limited possibilities. Like if it was Battle Cry, I'd just play it in Reno Demon Hunter or whatever. Like it'd be a fine card, but because it has to be Outcast, the rest of your deck has to be cheap, or else you're never ever gonna make it work. The wording is confusing. Outcast is Battle Cry if it's in the left or right of your hand. So your hero is immune until your next turn. The card doesn't need to be out. Seems bad for 5. The cost isn't the problem. The Outcast keyword is the problem. The Outcast keyword is why we're disregarding this. Like the rest of your deck has to be too cheap, and there's nothing that plays that way that would want this. Anyways, moving on. I'll give it a 1. A high 1, maybe a 2. Like low 2. Because I could see myself doing something silly with it. Then we have Timeway Warden, and I think this is like low, like, okay, Rafam aside. Rafam is too cool. We'll talk about him later. But Rafam aside, I think this is maybe my favorite card of the set, just because of the flavor of it. So it's a 4 for 2/6 battle cry, imprison an enemy minion. It goes dormant for 10,000 turns. I love quoting Illidan. I love talking about the 10,000 years. So like this is pretty funny to me. And then Death Rattle, it awakens. So if you bounce this, your opponent just lost a slot for 10,000 turns. There's Hearthstone, by the way, has a 45 turn limit, so that's just dormant forever. So yeah, I think this could be really funny if you want to just lock out your opponent's board somehow. So it's at least a 2 for that reason. Like you could definitely make a really silly video tutoring this and bouncing it to ruin your opponent's board slots. But I think this is a little hard because of the class it's in. Like if you imagine this in a rogue, for example, like you know, they have Shadow Step and other cool bounce stuff. So board lock deck seems like it would be a fun meme. I agree. Also, you only have to hit 1 minion of your opponent's to stop the board deck, right? Kind of not. It's a can do, not a good to do. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really silly card. A+ flavor. Then we have Perennial Serpent. So 8 mana 7/9, 8 mana 7/9 rush, and it costs 4 if a minion is dormant. So like Wombo combo. And you have like red card, right? So like it's pretty easy to make. Like you have the seeds, you have red card. I think this is just solid. That would be funny to hit your own Ancient of Yore if it could. Finally, the Maiev payoff we've been waiting for. Exactly. But I don't think you would do that. I think you would play Corridor Sleeper before you would play Maiev. But you just want like cheap or good dormant minions. So I think you'd run the seeds, and you might run this, but probably not. You'd run red card in the seeds, and you'd play this, get a 4 mana 7/9 rush, which is pretty solid. I'd give that at least a 2. If I knew what deck it would go in, I would give it a 3, but I think it requires experimentation. But it's really interesting. Hounds of Fury, 4 mana, summon 2 3/3 demons. If your deck has no minions, they attack the lowest health enemy. 4 mana for 2 3/3s, attacking the lowest health enemy. It's not a fell spell. I mean, I wouldn't run this in Reno Demon Hunter because it doesn't deal 2 damage, you know. But like we're like also we run minions in that deck, so never mind. But I would probably run it in Scythe Demon Hunter. I think this is better than the 5 cost one that summons 3/3s because it costs less, but also it does immediate impact instead of like if it survives its impact. So coming down a turn sooner is relevant. Getting rid of a couple minions when you play it is relevant, like as far as being anti-aggro. So like I'll give it a 2 because I would run it in the Scythe Demon Hunter deck, but it would be much better if it was a Fel spell, yes, because this seems like the type of thing that Jace would want to summon back. But I don't think that makes or breaks whether or not it's good. I think it's just kind of a fine card in a meme deck. It's not like particularly solid. Do you think no minion Demon Hunter will be a thing in Wild? No, it's not going to be like a meta deck. No, I think it's going to be marshy content, which is why I'm giving it a 2. Lasting Legacy. So 3 mana, give your hero +4 attack this turn. If your deck has no minions, give any in hand +4 attack. No? What? Okay. So you have get a random demon from the past. You have discover a minion. If your deck has no minions, reduce the cost of minion in your hand by 2. So like you're meant to just, all right, this is like a standard card, right? Like I don't think wilds we're discovering enough. Like I don't think the discovers matter enough. I don't think we're discovering a volume to where buffing your hand in a minionless deck by +4 attack is going to be very good. So I'm gonna give this a 1. I don't even think I would play this for a content deck. People were discussing Stheno as this. So you run Scythe Stheno. Ooh, did this just earn its 2? All right. So you go like Jace, Stheno, Renathal in your Scythe minion deck, and you run this. Yeah, you play it once with Stheno, and it's juiced. It's pretty cute, actually. I'm into it. All right. So 4 damage, deal 4 damage to 2 random enemies, and you can rewind it. It's a Fel spell. Huh. I'll give that a 2. That's like Jace worthy. I don't know that it's Jace worthy enough, but it might be. Frankly, that's a lot of damage once he casts it. Playing it initially is going to be hard, but the rewind helps maybe. How do rewind cards work when they're cast randomly? Do they always rewind? Do they never rewind? Or do they randomly rewind or not? I guess it doesn't really matter. I hope it's never rewind, because it's just a waste of time, right? Like if there's no human choice in it, it's just an extra step to random results. It doesn't say different, so I'm in 2. Isn't it better? I think this is inherently different, by the way. But it being able to hit the same thing twice is better, because then it could go face twice. So yeah. Like it will hit different things, but also that's worse than like it would if it did say different. If it did not inherently do different, it would be better, because then it could go face twice, which is better. So I don't know. Solitude, 2 mana, discover. Give this a 2. Having a Jace improvement makes me believe in that deck more, but it's still not going to be a good deck, so I can't give it a 3. I can't give any of the package a 3. It's not going to make a real deck. Solitude, 2 mana, discover a minion. If your deck has no minions, reduce the cost of minion in your hand by 2. So you make your Stheno cost cheaper, which is solid. Your Jace cost cheaper, which is solid. And by playing this, like if you play your Scythe spell and you play this in the same turn, this comes with rat protection, right? Like, so maybe I'll probably give that a 2. Low 2. Hard to say, because I think that this hitting Steno is bigger than this hitting Steno. Like, not even I think, it just is. And they're both very Steno dependent, so. Solitude could also work without Scythe and with Abyssal Depths. All right, let's look at Abyssal Depths. Hearthstone, Abyssal Depths. Oh. You're saying like you play Abyssal Depths first to draw your 2 lowest cost minions and then you discount them with Solitude? What's the combo? Then what do I do? Pretty sure Abyssal Depths is unplayable. It's fine. Like, that combo is also fine. It's just, I don't know, Street Tricksters or something. Yeah, I guess you could go Trickster and Il'gynoth. I don't think that's going to be as good as other ways to do it, but it's something to consider, I suppose. I'll give it a 2. Yeah. And then we have Time Lost Glaive, 1 mana 2/2 weapon, which isn't bad. It's not particularly good either, but Death Rattle get a card. I was going to write this off because getting a random demon, like getting a random wild demon especially, is pretty trash, but I don't know, like, isn't this like a fine aggro card? Nah, not really, because like aggro wants to run the weapon that draws until you have 3, and getting an unplayable demon for your hand makes that card worse. So you think Dirty Rat's going to become popular because of New Rafam? So New Rafam is not going to define the wild meta. All right, that card is a very fun card. It's fine. It's like the definitional 2. It's like, it's not an awful card, but it's not very good either. It's like a funny card for funny decks. But people aren't going to be adding more rats to their deck to make sure they hit Rafam, and it's not like that statement assumes that Dirty Rat isn't getting played already, which it absolutely is. So but like decks that lose to Dirty Rat still get played, so whether or not Dirty Rat exists, I don't think makes or breaks whether or not something that can't be Dirty Ratted would be good. Anyways, I think this card is probably a 2. It's like, it has niche possibilities. But it's, yeah, I mean, like, it seems pretty good in standard. 1 for 2/2, get a card, not bad. I think like, you know, Demon Hunter didn't get anything meta defining at all, or meta relevant really. Like, there's a lot of like fun stuff for me to play with as far as making videos, but I don't think that there's anything like really good here. I think if there anything was, it would be this. Like, I think there are a lot of ways to make this card decent. So like, you could come up with something, but yes, we've been talking about Scythe Demon Hunter for the last 20 minutes. I don't think it's going to be a meta deck, but it's going to be fine if you want to do something funny. That's like, most of the cards that are in here are like they would go in that deck. How good is that deck? Not very, but good enough to have some fun with.